Before we start today's video, I want to share with you this month's pick from Dossier. This is the brand I've been sharing with you for almost 2 years now, and they are an awesome brand that takes well-known and popular fragrances and recreates them for a more realistic price. And they do it so well, a lot of their fragrances are practically identical. It's really awesome. And for the next couple of months, I'm going to be a little selfish here and focus on things that I like to pick up for myself, starting with the musky green tea, which is based on the famous Silver Mountain water by Creed. And I think it smells pretty much identical to the original, honestly, and I happen to love the original, so this works out quite nicely. I want to let you know too, in case you're interested, they have an all-new discovery set over at the Dossier shop. This allows you to get a look at multiple fragrances that are best sellers and top picks without having to commit to a full bottle. Here's actually a look at everything inside the kit too. It's actually got 2 of my personal favorites in there, so you might want to check this out. A link to their shop is in the description. Head over there and check it out. Now though, on to today's episode. Today I'll be reviewing for you the All Day Clay from Hitch. This is a new clay and a new brand. I know how much you guys like looking at the new stuff. I enjoy it very much myself, so let's give it 5 minutes and see what it's all about. This, once again, is the All Day Clay from Hitch, and according to the brand, this was designed to keep your hair looking great from dusk till dawn. They also say it was made for all hair textures with emphasis on short to medium length styles. Officially speaking, we are looking at a medium hold matte finish with texture and flexibility. Price-wise, we're looking at $25 US for 2.4 ounces. Moving over to the fragrance now, this one is described by the brand as a clean fragrance with notes of bergamot, vetiver, and sandalwood. And to me, it just comes off to my nose anyway, as slightly perfume-like a light, clean perfume type scent is probably the best way that I can describe it. I'm running into my microphone here. It's the best way that I just did it twice in the same sentence. You know, it's really not bad. It doesn't choke me up, which is a big feat, you know, with my fragrance allergy. You know, you really don't smell it in the hair once it's there, but it's really not a bad scent either. It's very light, very fresh, very clean, you know, slightly perfumey is the best way I can describe it. Looking inside the jar here now, though, we're met with a very creamy product. This is very lotion-like, as you can see on camera. It provides no resistance at all coming out of the jar and breaking down in the hand. But once you get past that liquid-like feeling, you do get a bit of tack that starts to come out, which gives me a bit of a preview to how I think the styling is going to go with this one. Speaking of styling, we are going to move straight into our styling test now. We're going to be using it as directed on fully washed and blow-dried hair, and there are a few ways you can use this. I'm going to be going with the method that they describe on the site, which is basically how I apply most products. You know, emulsify it in the hand and apply back to front. And when I do this with the first scoop, I see it acts pretty much the same way it feels in the hand. It just applies so slick and easy. There's no tugging, there's no dryness, really not much to actually see from the product at this point. I do feel a tiny bit of that tack in there, but not enough to really style my hair with, so a second scoop is needed. And I will tell you that second scoop feels completely different. It feels like really this latches on to the product, the first scoop. It latches onto that as it's also latching onto my hair, and that hold really just comes out of nowhere in full force. I still want to say it's quite easy to manipulate though. The hold doesn't impede the styling or anything like that, but it also gave us an opportunity to look at some of that texture that the formula provides as well. Some of those clay benefits are starting to come out now. And in the end, this was the final style produced. Now let's go ahead and check on this final style 8 hours into the day, and we can see there is a little bit of movement there, nothing too bad. I think the hold level is still there for the most part. It might have lifted about 10 or 15%, which is something we're gonna have to touch on at the end. Went straight into our washout now though. This one, very easy for me. It was a straight water rinse, came right out of my hair with no problems. It just came right out immediately, no additional concerns in the washout department. And that just leaves us with our verdict on this clay. And quite honestly, this one is easy for me. And I say that with all the best intentions that I can. I think products like this should be easy to go through, really. They should clearly list what their attributes are and what they offer, what they bring to the table, and they should easily be able to do those things. And you shouldn't really have to guess or look for that performance, you know, like an abstract painting, like squint your eyes and try to get the meaning of it. It should be right out there in the open, and that is what we have here. This product here offers a clear medium hold that I think does get slightly stronger based on the amount of scoops that you use in the hair, the amount of product that you use, I guess. It offers a clear matte finish, some decent volume, and some decent texture. To me, really, this comes off, the impression that I get, it comes off to me as a clear professional product. I don't know much about the brand or who's behind it. You know, I just talked to some people behind the brand. I don't really know who runs it or their background or anything like that, but it would not surprise me in the least if there's a barber or a professional behind this product or this brand. I mean, this formula has barber written all over it for me. I mean, it's easy to use, it's intuitive in the hair, and it's got a great look to it. I mean, this packaging is not cheap, tell you that. I love the look, I love the design, everything. There's a lot to enjoy here. And of course, I do have some criticism. I have some criticism usually in every review. I would say endurance is probably the majority of the points of criticism I have on this one. I do think it lifted out there about 10 or 15%, which all in all is not a total tragedy. You know, I can work with that. I'm not saying it looked horrible or completely went away, but if I was going out after work or something, I think I would have to add in a bit more product or even restyle in some way, which for some might not be a huge deal. For people with finer hair, also, you probably would not have to do that. My hair is kind of thick and bushy, so it happened that way for me, so it might be hair type specific. All in all, really, for me, this was not a huge deal, but it was something that I saw, and so when I see it, I say it. That's just how this whole thing works. As usual, though, the final verdict is up to you, and if you'd like to check out the all-day clay from Hitch, you can find a link in the description down below. You can also find links to things like my own hair products and some other things that, coupons, things like that down there, so check that out as well. That is, though, all I got for today. Thanks so much for checking this out with me. Make sure you do the big 3 for me: like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, take it easy. I'll see you next time.